Hello again, welcome to another cooking program. I hope you liked our new intro. We've now named the channel The Homely Spoon Cooking and Other Bits. Yeah, it's just something I thought of. What we're going to do today is it's like meatballs and spaghetti, but it's made with sausages. This was sent to me by one of our viewers, and they said that they've seen people use sausages as meatballs because the sausages have already got seasoning in them, which makes perfect sense, to be honest. So we're still going to give it a try. Why not? You know, like I said, send me something and we'll see what we can do with it. So as a start, let me just bring this around to show you. Right, so what we've got is Cumberland. We have Cumberland sausages, which they're normally seasoned quite well. Spaghetti, passata. I've already cut up some garlic. We've got some basil there and chicken stock. So that should hopefully come round and work into a good meatball dish. So what I've done first, just so you can see, I've got cooking oil. I've just used vegetable oil in that. Don't use, because this is going to have to initially be done on a high heat, don't use olive oil or extra virgin olive oil because it'll exceed the burn temperature and you're going to end up getting a load of smoke. Because obviously virgin oil should only cook on a low to medium heat at best. So I have sunflower oil, vegetable oil. I've used vegetable oil, and I'm about to put, just put some water on. Like I've done, I've seasoned it with salt, and this will be for spaghetti. I might as well get that cooking now, and we shall go back to the preparation. So I will point that. I'm putting that down. So first things first, sausages. Yeah, so I picked Cumberland sausages because they're always well seasoned anyway, and I've never had an issue with these sausages. The taste is normally really good, so to me it's not a problem. Sharp knife. So all we're going to do is literally cut them basically into squares. The skin on them will help keep them in place, and we don't even really need to. I mean, we can just sort of round them off if we want to. It's not really a necessity because when they're cooking, the skin on the sausages sort of goes round. So what we want to do is try and make them all a similar shape if we can. And when they cook, we just cook them, and the reason it's a high heat because we don't want to cook the insides too much because obviously when it's simmering in the sauce, that'll cook the insides anyway, and if we end up cooking them too much at the beginning, it's going to overcook and just become dry, which is never good. So I'll carry on cooking these, not yet. I'll carry on cutting these and we'll be back when I've finished. I'll bend down. Okay, so that's all cooked now, all cut, I should say, and we should have 8 times 4, so 8, 16, 24, 32 sausages, well 32 portions of sausages. So what I'm going to do is get the oil heated up. So that shouldn't take. It's okay. There's just someone outside my front door. Yeah, neighbours. It shouldn't take too long for that to start cooking, start really heating up. We've got the hot water there, which is boiling nicely, so I'm going to take that down. What I'm going to do as well, while that's heating up, I'm just going to put a little bit of paprika in it. So it's just normal paprika, which just, while the oil's cooking, it just flavours the oil, which helps give that additional bit of seasoning into the sausages while it's cooking. So I'm just going to stir that into the oil. Leave that at that. So yeah, so I felt like I had something in my pockets. Right, so that should be heating up any time now. And once it does, and we don't put it up until we put the sausages in until we know it's heated, quite simply because it will start cooking the inside, and that's something we don't want just yet. So it looks like it might start bubbling soon. So I will bring the camera closer for you to see in a minute. Once I put the sausages in, I'll have a bit more room. So, I can smell the paprika cooking in that, mixing with the oil, which is weird because there's nothing cooking in it yet apart from the paprika. So, you know, to smell just the paprika in the oil it's quite pleasant. So, right. That is definitely cooked. Heat up. Right, so carefully, and we're not going to roll them, we're literally just going to position them. You can tell it's. See, the other thing I would suggest quite often is to just put something in, a tester, just to see if it bubbles. But I've cooked stuff with oil so many times, you can kind of smell when it's done. You know, when it's ready to have things put into it. So, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no professional chef, but, you know, sort of have an idea. So, I'm just going to keep them moving round. And now, we shall bring that lower. So, they're starting to brown off, and they kind of, the skin itself sort of makes it shrink a bit, so they sort of look like meatballs rather than just cut up sausages. Really weird. And I'm saying this as we go along because this is actually the first time this has been done by me. So, I'm just trying to theorise how it would work, especially with the skin on the sausages. So, you know, normally if you fry it, the skin sort of compresses a bit, and it looks like that's what's happening here, which is good. And so they're holding their shape, which is really better. Just gonna put that on there. These are, I think, just as a side bit, these are absolutely brilliant because with kitchen space, some people don't have big kitchens, so obviously space and storage becomes a bit of a problem for some people. So these, you know, they all go into one, these saucepan sets. You have the detachable handles. It makes storing them so much easier than a lot of other saucepans. So yeah. Right, so they're almost burning off, which is good. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. I had it on full heat just to get the oil cooking. I've now reduced it by half, well, just under half. So it was on 9, and obviously it depends on your cooker. I've now got it down to 4. So with that happening, the garlic I cut up earlier, because I didn't think you wanted to see me cut up garlic. I mean, so what I'm going to do is put that in. That's 3 cloves of garlic. Yeah, cloves, not bulbs, right? I remember doing a recipe once and saying to people to use 3 bulbs of garlic, and they come back and went, how much? I was like, oops, yeah, no, 3 bulbs is a little bit too much. So 3 cloves of garlic, and you only want to have this cooking for about 2-3 minutes. Otherwise the garlic will start burning. Now, the other thing I'm going to do in a minute, where was it? going to use a sieve, and this is paper. So once this is done, I'm going to actually get rid of the oil, but obviously keep the garlic and the sausage. Because obviously we don't want to leave the oil in there. Right, well these are cooked really well. So you can really smell the garlic coming through. So what I'm going to do is get another paper plate, because you don't want to pour. What you don't want to be doing is pouring the oil down the sink. One, it's not good for your kitchen sink, not good for the pipes, and it's certainly not good for the drainage and environment. So let's steer away from that. What I tend to do, a bit of garlic there I missed. What I tend to do is pour it into a paper cup. You then get some flour, mix in with it, it solidifies it, and then you can just dispose it by normal means. Yeah? Normally in the food waste bin or something. That keeps it good for the environment, and saves you spending extra money on getting your drains cleaned afterwards. So all we're going to do, I'm just going to pour that into here. Oh, it's managed to go into one. That's good. And we've lost the sausage. Never mind. Pour that all back. So, make sure we keep all the garlic in there. Right, the cooker is still on 4, okay? That's going to go to the side for the dog later. Let's see what we enjoy that. Right, so, that's the hot oil. We leave that, don't touch it, keep it away. Put it in a second thing. You can obviously store it, keep it, and use it at a later date. It's, you know, it's now a seasoned oil, so you know, you could use it for other things. It's entirely down to yourself. So, right, now what we're going to do, got some stock, some chicken stock. So there's there's exactly 300 mils of chicken stock here. So all I've done is got, to give you an idea, I've used a stock cube, sort of like that, with 300 mils of water. Yeah, no more, no less. So all we're going to do is just pour that in, and that'll help season the sausages. So now we up the heat again. Okay, because obviously that's cold. So once that's heated up, we'll carry on, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and pass this on to your friends and, you know, everyone else. Let's try and get this built out a lot more. It's growing very slowly, but we are getting there, but we just need a lot more. Just, you know, pass it to your friends and get them pass it to their friends, and so on and so forth, which will be great, and I really appreciate it, because obviously without you viewers this ain't gonna happen, you know? So it's, you know, I really thank all of you lot for subscribing and liking, so please keep it up. I know I'd appreciate it, and we'll try and keep as many of these coming as we can. So that's now boiling. So what we're going to do now, get the passata. I hope I've pronounced that right for all those of you that are Italian. And we're just going to pour it in the whole bottle. And this is a 690 gram bottle. Yeah, so it's 690. Yeah. So we're going to just stir that in, let that come to the boil. Once it comes to the boil, we're going to turn it down and just let it simmer. Yeah, so the sauce thickens up. Okay. So a little bit of that. Right, once it comes to the boil, we'll be back. See you in a minute. Welcome back. Right, so here we are. It's coming to the boil now. So just going to give it a quick stir. So obviously I don't want to catch it at the bottom. So then all we're going to do is going to season it, salt and pepper. Which this grinder's very, very slow. It's the one we used last time and it was slow then, and it's not improved that much since. So it looks like I'm using a load of pepper, but I'm actually not. It just looks like I am. So, right, let's stir this in again. So now I'm going to turn it down to 5. While it slow simmers, we're going to stick some of the basil in it. But don't stir that in, just leave that resting on top, okay? So that's going to simmer. Once that's almost simmered, what we're going to do now as well, now the water's boiling. I'm going to get just a handful of pasta. I can get it out of here. These Tupperware pots are very nice, but it can be a bit of a bloody pain. So I'm not going to do too much because I'm going to save some of that for later. But we'll do some just so we can do the present, present it and so you can see what it's like. And then obviously I'm going to taste it. Like I said, I've not cooked this before. So we'll see how well this is going to go. But yeah, it could go well. I've got a fan on, just. So we're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. Hopefully by then, I'm going to just obviously up the temperature on the water as well. Hopefully they should both cook together now and be ready pretty much at the same time. So just as a quick recap, so we've used 8 Cumberland sausages, and the reason we've used Cumberland sausages is because they're seasoned really well already, so we didn't really have to season the dish apart from salt and pepper, a bit of paprika in the oil, which I just like doing. It's a personal preference, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So once they've done, we've fried and browned, we drain the oil, which is over there. You can reuse the oil at a later date, just store it away. I mean, why waste it? It's only been used once. And then we've used 300 mils of chicken stock and 3 cloves of garlic, and then we've obviously got 690 grams of the tomato, the passata, which is basically it's sieved tomatoes. That's all that sauce is. It's not really been seasoned that much more after that. It's had a little bit of seasoning, obviously. But you can use any tomato sauce. It doesn't matter. Some people use Dolmio, ragu, their own. It's entirely up to yourselves. I've bought this because it's actually quite a nice tomato sauce. It's not bitter. And it packs a bit of a punch, which is good. If you like tomato, you'll like this sauce. So I'm just pushing the rest of that in. I wouldn't advise doing that if you're not comfortable doing it. I've been burnt so many times, I'm not fussed by it now. And obviously, then you pour that in. Once it all comes to the boil, drop it down to simmer. Put the basil in, and then just leave it. Hopefully that will cook at the same time. But yeah, so we'll see how well it tastes. And thank you for recommending this. Like I said, bring them on. We will try it. Even if you've never cooked any dish and you've seen something that might go well with that, let us know. Give it a try. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? We cook it, it tastes horrible. But then at least you've not wasted your time and your ingredients. Let me do it. I'll do it for you. 3 minutes have passed. So everything looks good. The pasta's cooked. I've just sprinkled a little bit more basil on top, because I like the greenery bit. So that's the finished item as such. So what we're going to do now, serve up and see how well it looks. So right, so I've strained spaghetti and we're just going to stick it in the bowl. So what I'm going to do now is just, not too much, just I would say about 5 or 6, a little bit of sauce to go around. Don't need a huge amount. Then to top it off, I'd normally use Parmesan, but I've realised I've run out of it. So I've just got a bit of grated cheddar, which I'm just going to stick on top. And there we go. So, and that is it. Look, you could think that that might look like meatballs. To be honest, you could be forgiven to think, you know, maybe that is meatballs and spaghetti. So, but now, the proof's in the pudding, as they say. So, let's have a look. I'll taste it all together, first of all, and then we'll just have a look. We'll have a taste individual components. Well, the sausage. So I've got a bit of that, cheese, basil, hell of a lot of pasta. So, let's see. If you didn't know that there were sausages in there, you wouldn't think it was sausages. I don't know how that's worked, but yeah, you wouldn't think I've just cut up 8 sausages. Strange. Okay, so it's, you could say it looks a bit like a cut up sausage, but I don't know. Doesn't taste like a sausage. It melts in the mouth really well. So yeah, I think this is another success. I think that worked. So thank you for that. I really appreciate someone actually getting in touch and asking me to try something. I encourage other subscribers to do that. And obviously, like I said, pass this on to other subscribers, other viewers of YouTube. So get them to subscribe and like, build the channel more. It's down a good possibility of getting more of this sent in, and we can just try it. It's just not a problem. I've gone by what they've said. All they said was meatballs and spaghetti they like, but they've heard it will also work with sausages. I was a bit doubtful. I was like, read it and thought, really? But I was right. Well, they was right, I should say. And yeah, job done. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and obviously for listening to my previous dribble. When you're out in restaurants, always be wary of what you're getting. Sometimes you're not always going to get what's on the menu and always think it's going to be fresh. So keep an open mind. Always look out for the hygiene certificates as well in restaurants. That's what I tend to do. That's always a good sign. Obviously, they will vary from country to country, wherever you're from. But yeah, so another success, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.